Hi everyone, it's BDevine and welcome to Divine Miracles channel and our tarot lesson. And I made a video on shuffling and I don't know exactly what happened to that video, so I'm just doing it again. And please remember that you can do this however you want to do this. This is just some general tips on shuffling to get the most out of your readings. And the very first thing that you want to do before you even pick up your cards is have a clear intention in your mind about exactly what it is you're asking these cards. I can't express enough how important it is to have a clear mind before you touch and start shuffling your cards, because otherwise if your mind's all jumbled and you're thinking about all 1,000 other things, picking the kids up from school, what you're having for tea and all that, oh yes, that's right, I'm thinking about a question, you know, you're going to get jumbled answers in your reading and it's just not going to make any sense for you and you're going to feel like you've failed. So it's good to have a really great start. You know, start with what you're thinking about, like what the question is, calm yourself, you know, use your meditation techniques that you like to do, however it is that you like to get nice and calm, and ask your guides and angels to be there and connect, and use your crystals and all the things that you like to do to set yourself up before you do a reading. Now I'm going to just show you a couple of samples on how you can sort of shuffle and prepare the cards. One thing is that you might like people to actually shuffle the cards for you, and you know, so they're getting their energy into the cards, or you know, you may not like to do that. You might like to be the person that holds the cards. And I find that in the beginning of my spiritual practice, and when I was doing readings for people, I'd say, here's the cards, you shuffle the cards for me, you know, and then pick out 10 cards. But I found that I was getting confused answers and things like that, possibly because they were thinking of too many things at once, but also it felt like my cards were absorbing their energy then, you know, and I just felt that it wasn't right for me to allow people to then touch my cards. But that is totally up to you. Please remember that the way that you do cards is always down to you, or how you're feeling. But again, before we get shuffling the cards, it's always good to have a clear idea of what kind of spread you're doing and what kind of questions that you're asking, so that when you're shuffling the cards, that you're laying them in those particular spaces and in those particular you know, parts of the spread kind of thing. So here we go. So just say, for example, I've got this idea in my mind about this, I've got the person in front of me, I've cleared myself, I'm ready to go. And I take my cards and I just hold them in my hands and I just knock them. And the reason I knock them is I'm just getting rid of any stagnant energy from anyone else. And then what I like to do is just sort of take my hand around them, and I'm just imagining that I've got white light clearing the cards and making them mine, and you know, making this person's particular reading. Now you don't have to do that. If you just want to pick up your cards and start shuffling, that's fine. So then for the shuffling process, you shuffle however you like to shuffle, okay? Depending on the cards, and if they all fall out, that might be part of the reading. But depending on the, I'll just pick these up. Depending on, you know, the type of cards that you've got, you might have these big massive things and you might have to shuffle them, you know, down, straight down like this instead of sideways like this. Okay, so I just shuffle them like that, and what will happen is that I'll get a feeling when I need to stop, and you will as well. You'll just know when you need to stop. Okay, and then we stop and we're ready to put the cards out where we want to put the cards out. Another method is that you're shuffling away, you know, you've got your question, you know, you're doing a Celtic cross, or you're doing a past, present, future reading, or whatever it is for you, and you're shuffling away and you stop. And then you say, right, I'm going to put these cards into 3 piles. Okay, and you put the 3 piles down, usually left to right, but it doesn't matter how you do it. And then you ask your client to choose one of those piles. And they may put their hand across and feel for the warmth, which is a good idea. Or they'll just know exactly that it's going to be the middle pile or whatever it is, and that's what you use. So you will take that out, you know, like say for example they've used the top You take that out, and those are the cards that you'll start doing your reading with and laying out your cards. The most important thing in your entire tarot reading is centering yourself, getting yourself ready, clearing these cards. You might like to keep them with a clear quartz crystal on top. You might have a favorite crystal that you use especially for clearing your cards, and you've dedicated it to them. And then you can wrap your cards. I'm actually using my grandmother's silk headscarf, and I've got probably 4 or 5 of her headscarves. I mean, she was pretty cool, wasn't she, using this kind of one. And I'll put the crystal in there, and then I'll wrap the cards up, and I'll just tuck them away in a bag or in a box. But it's nice to keep any negative energy out of them. And the crystal works on activating the cards and keeping them nice and clear and charged, and the darkness just keeps any negativity away from them. So it's up to you how you go about shuffling your cards, whatever feels right for you, as long as before you pick them up you have an idea in your mind of the person's question or your own question and how you're going to lay them out. That's really important. Otherwise you end up with a completely scatterbrained kind of a reading, and you'll be struggling. So please just have fun with shuffling. You might like to fan the cards out on the however you want to do it, and make it your own, as long as you have that focused intention in the beginning. That it really is the most important part. And keep your cards sacred. Like, don't be giving them to the kids to play with or your friends to look at or anything like that. And if you do let your friends look at them and that they're holding them and they're looking at all the images, just do that clearing technique again, just knocking them, and clear the cards is something that I like to say. Clear the cards, and I say that in my mind, and that's it. I believe that it's done, and away you go. So shuffle them, have fun with them. Just remember as well that as soon as you feel like it's time to stop, shuffling, as soon as you feel, just stop and just go with that. And when you're laying out the cards, if it all looks too difficult, don't think to yourself, okay, I'm just going to shuffle them again and do it again. Just go for it. You'll be surprised how much you actually can get out of it, even if you feel that it's negative in some way. So thank you for listening. I hope that that's helpful to you, and I hope that you're enjoying this. I've got lots and lots of things to come. We've got lots more things to show you, and I'm working on a way in which I can do it where you'll actually see the cards on the table and things like that. And anyway, just keep hanging in there, keep practicing as much as you can, and until the next video, thank you all for listening, and it's goodbye for now. Bye.